Want to know one solid reason why XRP is primed to smash through its all-time high and enter price discovery? Here's the deal. Every time XRP has found itself in a similar position, history shows us one thing: it goes up. And not just a little, big moves. Let me explain. History has this funny way of repeating itself, doesn't it? Unless, of course, you're a hardcore doomsday bear convinced we're diving headfirst into a never-ending bear market. If that's you, fine. XRP will likely follow the broader market trends. But if you're wrong, well, the numbers are set to soar. Tired of fake gurus who claim to be expert traders but never trade live? I trade live on the second largest crypto exchange, where everything is transparent and results can't be faked. For over 440 days, I've consistently closed every month in profit. In the last 90 days alone, my followers have earned over $34,000 in profits, with only 4% drawdown. Verified results, not empty claims. Want to see my verified stats? Click the first link in my profile and start copying my trades for free today. And soon. Here's the thing, I'm not betting on doom and gloom. I'm betting on the upside. I don't believe the story's over for XRP. In fact, there are real signs the tide is turning and momentum is building. So buckle up, because I don't think we've seen anything yet. Hang tight because you'll want to hear this. It's exciting. Things are looking up, and I mean really looking up. If you've been around for even a year, you've likely seen some substantial gains already. Now let's talk about the shift happening right now. Everything is relative, of course, but over the past few weeks, we're seeing signs of a turnaround. Markets don't stay stuck forever, and local bottoms do exist. In fact, we might have just hit one, or we're very close. Even if prices dip a little further, I don't think it'll matter in the long run. I truly believe XRP has massive upside potential in the future. But before you get too hyped, let me be clear. I'm not a financial expert. This isn't financial advice. Don't buy or sell anything based solely on what I say or write. Do your research, always. Alright, let's dive into a post from chart analyst Mustache. While today's focus is mainly on XRP, I want to kick things off with a broader perspective. Why? Because finding confluence is key. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Now, if you're new to this space, don't worry if it feels a bit overwhelming. Stick with me, you'll catch on. The reality is, markets move together. It's like a ripple effect, pun intended. Macro trends? Oh, they're very real and play a huge role. And when the entire market shows signs of rebounding, guess what? That's incredible news for XRP. Here's the thing. I genuinely believe XRP is set to outperform most other coins, especially in the large and mid-cap categories. It's been held back for years, thanks to the SEC's antics and the US government. But now, XRP is staging a comeback. Yep, it's clawing its way back into the spotlight. So, with that context, let's take a look at the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and ETH. And that brings us to the Total 3 chart. Yes, that's the name of the chart. Mustache has some thoughts to share. It's amazing how quickly sentiment shifts, he says. Lately, all I've been hearing is talk of bearish retests or relief rallies. But have you ever heard of a V reversal? That's a classic bull market move. If he's right, the next move could be even sharper. And honestly, that's how it goes in crypto. It can feel like nothing but doom and gloom, until, in the blink of an eye, everything changes. Suddenly, sentiment flips, and the market takes off. That's the rhythm of crypto. It's unpredictable, it's wild. But when it moves, it really moves. Now take a look at what he's pointing out. See the mouse? Right there. Notice the similarities to a moment from several years back? History doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme. Some people were nervous back then, and I get it. Markets have this uncanny ability to mess with your emotions, pulling you into a whirlwind of uncertainty. You start feeling all the feels. But then, just like that, it surged upward. We're still waiting for that part of the cycle now, and honestly, I believe it's just around the corner. Take a look at this XRP/USD chart from chart analyst Crypto Wizard. He says, "Isn't it beautiful? It's happening again." In 2017, XRP shattered a multi-year resistance and never looked back. The same pattern is unfolding now. A new all-time high awaits those who stay patient. This perspective keeps popping up. Analyst after analyst echoing the same idea. The ones I follow, the ones I trust, all seem to agree. And honestly, it's hard not to get excited when you listen to what they have to say. Turns out everyone calling for XRP to break to the upside was spot on, and I was already following nearly all of them before it happened. They nailed it. Here's the wild part. I can't think of a single analyst who predicted the breakout and is now backpedaling saying, well, that's the peak. Not one. They're all sticking to their guns. unanimously pointing up. The only debate now, how high this thing goes. $5, $10, $20, $30. That's where the disagreement kicks in. But one thing's clear, XRP's trajectory has everyone talking. But yes, it's actually happening. History has a funny way of repeating, or at least rhyming, and there's plenty of reason to think we're seeing that with XRP. So when a chart analyst like Crypto Wizard posts something like this to his 108,300 followers, it's worth paying attention. Breaking multi-year resistance is no small feat. Back in 2017, XRP did just that, but with far less historical data to draw from. Analysts couldn't lean on deep insights about its potential trajectory. Fast forward to today, and we've got nearly 12 years of live price data, an invaluable resource for decoding XRP's future. This time, the story feels different. Even Crypto Insight UK has been echoing similar vibes. Let me keep this brief. I mentioned it in my last video, but it's too relevant not to bring up here. Take a look at the XRP USD chart on your screen. It's evidence that supports the growing sentiment among the top analysts I follow. Here's the key takeaway. XRP has only broken and held above multi-year resistance once in its history. That's why so many are buzzing right now. The charts make a compelling case, and if history truly rhymes, we might just be in for something big. Back in 2017, XRP was one of the standout performers in the market. Say what you will, but anyone arguing otherwise is likely letting their bias cloud the facts. This isn't opinion, it's straight up reality. That's why you won't hear credible voices claiming the opposite, unless they've been carrying a grudge against XRP for years. And hey, if someone wants to hate on it endlessly just because, so be it. But beyond that kind of noise, nope, you won't see it. Now let's talk about the real reason I brought this up. It comes down to perspective, courtesy of XRP chart analyst Dom at TraderView 2 on X. Dom's got an incredible track record, and yes, he nailed the recent breakout with precision. His approach? Pure common sense, a deep understanding of history, and solid chart analysis. By looking at the data, he's drawn a clear, reasonable conclusion about what's most likely ahead. And guess what? The answer is simple. Numbers go up. Oh, you better believe it. Wondering if XRP has one last rally in store? The signs point to yes, or at least that's the strong conviction some analysts have. Let's dive in. On the screen, we've got an XRP/USD chart, and here's what Dom, a seasoned chart analyst, had to say. There's one reason I'd be surprised if XRP doesn't go higher this year. Bold words, but let's break it down. To be clear, this isn't about guarantees, it's about probabilities. Analysts like Dom dig into historical data, patterns, and trends to assess outcomes. They're not fortune tellers, but when conviction is this high, it's worth paying attention. Dom highlights a fascinating pattern. Every time XRP has hit a multi-month or multi-year peak, it's happened rapidly, as shown on the chart right here. History doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it sure rhymes, and this setup couldn't be clearer. While nothing is set in stone, if you're playing the odds, XRP's potential for an upside this year is looking downright compelling. Could this be the breakout moment? Time will tell, but the chart speaks volumes. When you're scrolling through the feed, the chart usually shows up below, but once you click on it, it pops into full screen mode, shifting to the left. Anyway, here's the gist. He's pointing out that there was no midterm acceptance at those higher levels. Basically, no agreed upon value. This happens with any asset when excitement takes over. People see a big green candle, FOMO kicks in, and suddenly money pours in. Prices skyrocket, not because of fundamentals or logic, but pure hype. And in moments like that, this kind of madness is inevitable. Honestly, I'm ready for it. I'll be unloading my XRP as the price climbs higher and higher, but let's be real, those levels won't last. No matter how high XRP shoots, $10, $20, $30 or more, some will convince themselves it should stay there forever. Spoiler alert, it won't. Still, I'm convinced XRP is set to rocket. We're talking dramatic price discovery, the kind that leaves jaws on the floor. It's going to be wild. Get ready for faces to melt. This is going to make so many of you insanely wealthy. I'm talking life-changing levels of success for a ton of people, including many listening right now. But let's be real. Thinking XRP is somehow immune to a correction? That's just wishful thinking. When you see those massive moves, yeah, they're going to pull back. But that's exactly why what's happening right now is so important. That's why I'm here making this epic fire-packed video just for you. You need to pay attention to what's unfolding because it's a game changer. Here's the deal. He's talking about charts, not utility. Price shot up, then dipped, but look closer. The longer price lingers at a level, it reflects market participants agreeing on that price. This time, it skyrocketed fast. But 3 months later, it's holding strong at these higher levels. We're seeing range building, price acceptance, and volume staying solid above $2. This has never happened at any previous cycle high. Big things are brewing, and you don't want to miss it. And honestly, this just blows my mind every single time. Maybe I repeat myself too much. Who knows? But seriously, XRP hitting an all-time high of $3.39 is wild. Then it, quote-unquote, crashed, dipping briefly below $2. Yet here we are, with it chilling above $2.40 as I speak. That's the new normal now? Absolutely insane, and I'm here for it. I always believed this moment would come, like it was bound to happen eventually, but seeing it actually unfold, surreal. Here we are, living it. And of course, with the price climbing, you'll always see some longtime holders cashing out. Plenty of people took profits over $3, and even more will do the same when the next surge hits. That's just how the game goes, and we're watching it play out in real time. Look, I plan to be one of the people selling too, eventually. I mean, we're all here to make a profit, right? But here's what's fascinating. A lot of those trader types already cashed out, took their profits, and yet it bounced right back to above $2. Here's the thing, this isn't your typical market behavior. That's exactly why I'm making this video. An experienced trader said something that stuck with me. This is not how tops usually form. And he's right. Think about it. Why does it keep climbing? Because this isn't how market tops behave. Nothing certain, of course, but we're talking probabilities here and the odds are looking interesting. Normally, tops form quickly, give you almost no time to react, and then, boom, a massive drop. The price crashes and stays low until the next market cycle. But is that what we're seeing here? Nope. It's doing the exact opposite. So why is this happening? He explains it simply. At those high levels, value was never truly established. There was no agreement on price up there. But now, the structure is stabilizing, developing balance. And when that balance solidifies, it often paves the way for upward expansion. This could be exactly what we've been waiting for. Hope this clicks, Dom. Oh, it clicks. Dom, it absolutely clicks. Here's the thing, this is exactly what's happening. And let me tell you, this one really hit me hard. I hope it resonates with you the same way it did with me. Multiple analysts are echoing similar ideas, which is why I shared posts from Crypto Wizard and Crypto Insight UK. Look at this. It's consolidating right here above what was once resistance. That's huge. This is far from over. Now, if the market rebounds and NXRP is already holding strong in this position before the rebound, what do you think happens next? Price discovery? Life-changing wealth for so many people. And honestly, I'm hoping to be one of them. Of course, nothing is guaranteed and I can't claim to know for sure. But do I believe it'll happen this cycle? Yeah, I do. I think it's the most likely outcome. And if it does, that would change everything for me. Truly, absolutely life-changing. And I believe it's within reach. Here's the deal. This isn't some far-off dream or make-believe scenario. This is happening. It's real life. We've been waiting for what feels like forever. But now, we're standing right on the edge, on the verge of it all coming together. And guess what? Some of the sharpest minds out there see it too. They're on board with this vision. They keep coming back to it over and over. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. So, my friends, it's time to step up. Hire smart, hire bold. Oh, and just so we're clear, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't go buying or selling anything based on my take, because if I'm wrong, that would be a truly terrible idea.